Hi, everybody. It's Chris
and Andy
from the office, and just wanted to talk to everybody about their CGI goals. Those are goals that help you kind of predict your future and set up yourself for success for the next year. So, Andy, when do you put your CGI goals in?
Typically the beginning of fourth quarter.
And that's so that you can set yourself up appropriately for the following year. There are times you can adjust it during the year, but that's a good thing.
At least I know my starting baseline comes January 1, my expectation and where I need to be at.
Excellent. Well, that's how it should be done. But we have noticed that there's a lot of people that haven't put their goals in. And I think that's because a lot of people think that it may be a little bit difficult or hard to put in. So I just want to sit down with Andy and show you guys how easy it is to put it in there. So hang on just a sec. We'll get through the computer and I'll show you that. All right? All right. So here we're at the KW normal sign-in page. I hope everybody at least knows how to do this. Andy, go ahead and sign in there. All right, so now we're in Andy's page, right? So everybody should be generally familiar with this and their MyKW. Andy, you know what this page is, right?
Yes.
All right, so from here, pretty straightforward. You go up to the Education tab. That takes you into basically KW Connect. You can see the KW Connect up here. This is where you can get all kinds of fantastic resources. But what we want to talk about right now is under the Growth tab. So you click on the Growth and then Career Growth Initiative. Now right there, it's going to launch you into your goals and set you up stuff. So, hey, Andy, looks like you haven't set up your 2019 goals. So we're going to go through that. I want you to see how easy this is. So it says you have three choices. If you had goals set up before, you can set up your 2019 using your current goals. You can add brand new goals ones, or you can do it later. So whichever one we want. I'm just going to start with the add new goals because I think most everybody who hasn't had goals probably doesn't have them from 2018. So we're going to go right here. Here we go. So it takes you here. You do not currently have a goal set. Right up here at the top says set my goal. Pretty straightforward. Right here is where we get into what we're going to set it for. So this column down the right-hand side is what we want to fill out. So profit is basically how much money you want to pocket at the end of the day. How much taxes you typically pay. This is actually a little bit high. We'll roll through this. Royalty cap, company dollar cap. This is like blank filled in. So we'll change all of this depending on your specific cap and your specific formula. Any other means that you have, if you have a salary, if you have a draw, if you have another job, whatever you want to do. Your typical commission, your split with the office, the average home price, whether you're a buyer or seller focused. Your average conversion rate, listing taken versus listing sold, and your conversion rate, listing appointments versus listings taken. What this is going to give you is basically a map of what you need to do today or this week to attain the goal at the end of the year. We'll talk about how that lays out over on the left-hand side as we roll through these. So, Andy, let's go through and put this stuff in here. So, profit, this is what you want to end up with at the end of the year. So, 200,000. Excellent. Typical tax rate. This one has 40% in there. That's pretty high. I'd say most people are going to be in the, 25, 30, 35%, depending on how much you're able to write off.
I happen to know mine's about 18.
Andy knows how to write off stuff. Andy knows how to take care of business. So next one, royalty cap. This should be the same for everybody, 3,000. Company dollar cap. This is typically for our market center, 18,000. If you're on a team, you probably have a different company dollar cap, so make sure you do that. Make sure you manage that. Your monthly expenses. If you're brand new, this is kind of a shot in the dark, but you should tally this up. And this includes all your business expenses. If you're the sole provider for your home, this would be your mortgage, your car payment, your daycare, all of the stuff. If you're just thinking about your specific business, like this is something that's aside from that, then let's go ahead and talk about monthly expenses are your MLS dues, your gas in your car, your signs, your all of that kind of stuff. It's broken down into monthly just so that it's easier to cover stuff. So Andy, do you have any idea what your general monthly expenses would be?
Probably business side, 3,500.
3,500. So let's make sure we got 3,500 in there. All right. Additional means. Andy, you do anything else to make some more money? No? All right. This is it. This is it for Andy.
Sink or swim.
Right. Typical commission, 3% is a good thing to go by. It's a goal. Now, on average over the year, most people end up under 3% because you're likely to end up with some 2.5 or some 2s or something there. Rarely do you end up with more than 3. So 3% is a good goal, but if you know your average commission pull, put that in here. Andy, do you know what yours is?
It's about 2.8.
All right, so let's make sure that's correct. Let's put 2.8% in there. Commission split, so this would be with the office. Most people are on a 70-30, but again, if you're on a team or you have any other agreement, make sure that number is correct. Your average home price. Andy, do you know your average home price for your sale?
It's over 300.
Okay.
I prefer to stick with 300.
Just stick with 300. Just so that everybody knows, the average home price in Arizona is still at about 285. This is pretty close, 282, 100. Average home price in the Phoenix market is actually over 300 now. It's like 304 or something. So this is where being conservative helps you. So if we put in 300,000, if we have an average home price of more, then we make more money. That's nice, right? Then seller focus. Do you focus more on sellers or more on buyers? Andy?
Had more buyers last year. Focus is to be more seller heavy this year.
So you want to estimate a 60-40, a 70-30, a 90-10?
I would prefer 50-50 now because I was buyer heavy last year, so that would actually be an increase.
All right, then let's stick it at 50-50. This is good information to have. Conversion rate, so listings taken to listings sold. So once you get that listing contract signed, how likely is it that listing is going to turn into money in your pocket? So
I'm
Andy,
about 90%.
Okay, 90%. So Andy's been doing this a while. That's good. Let's make sure that's 90. For those of you that don't have a record to go by, stick with the 75% default. It's going to be better for you. And then listing appointments to listing tickets. How many appointments do you go on before you get that signed listing contract?
I would say 75 is probably pretty accurate.
Okay, 75%. If you don't feel accurate with these, go conservative. I would say a brand spanking new agent that's going to go out on a lot of listing appointments, they may be better served to put 50% in there just so that they have the right numbers, right? Or they have at least a good goal number to go by. They definitely don't want to overestimate themselves and come up short of their goal even though they hit their numbers. So, and you hit submit. So that took us, 4 minutes maybe to do. All right, so after you hit that submit button, you get this goals updated screen, which would be great. So once we click OK past that, now over on the left-hand side, it basically tells your story right here. We want business worth owning, lives worth living, experience giving, legacies worth leaving. You want your goals are created based on your $200,000 input. Let's figure stuff out here. So in order to profit $200,000, you need tax earnings of $243. That means you need total estimated taxes of about $43,000. Your royalty cap's 3, your dollar cap's 18. That makes this a total. Here's your expenses here. Your total estimated expenses are $4,200. It's just doing this math for you, right? Let's see what else down here. So it's going to, here's this math. There we go. So profit goal of 200, taxes, costs, all that kind of stuff. Your GCI goal would be 306,903. That means a GCI goal of 25,576. It's pretty broad overview. Now closings, listings versus buyers. Here's what it says. You need 53 closings this year, 5 per month. Pretty straightforward. Listings taken. You need 27 closed listings this year, so you need 29 listings taken. That's an average of 3 per month. To get your 29 listings taken, you need to take 39 appointments this year. That's an average of 4 appointments per month. And to recap your goals here, 4 listing appointments per month gets you 3 listings taken. 5 closings with listings and buyers gets you your $25,000 in GCI. Is that pretty easy to understand?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you think you can take 4 listing appointments a month?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That'll really result in 5 closings a month and $25,000 in GCI and your $200,000 net profit. So I guess what I wanted to make sure everybody out there knew is this is easy to put in. It's not overbearing. These numbers are good for you to know even if you don't have a track record to fill in the data from previous years, use some boilerplate data. And that way, at least gives you an idea. $200,000 profit might seem like a big hurdle for a lot of people, but 4 listing appointments per month isn't so bad. That's 1 a week, right? So that's what we want to go through here. And I appreciate you guys sitting through this. I know we're at 10 or 12 minutes here long. But after everybody sees this, I want everybody to go log in, set your goals, and get done. Just get that in there. That way, you know what's going on. Our market center knows what's going on, and we have better ways to predict and better ways to help you. So I appreciate it. Thanks, Andy.
You're welcome.
Absolutely, and we'll talk to you guys later.